Hello everyone, I'm Xeff, and I had said I wanted to play something a little bit more action-packed, oh dear. And, yeah, I figure we'll play some Doom. Doom's a classic, isn't it? Gotta be honest, not a game I was ever all that keen on. Don't hate it, I don't think it's bad, I just don't think it's really much to write home about, to be honest. Just got lucky with being released a bit earlier than some other games, and it kind of shows, I always felt, really. You know, I was spoiled getting to play things like Dark Forces, which are a lot better. And when this is done, I'm going to replay Dark Forces, because I really like that game. And then we're going to play probably some of the user content for it, because I've wanted to do that for years. Oh, this stupid light is not working again. Well, we're on my DX-50, we don't see that machine very often, and it should be way above the system requirements. Apparently Doom will run on a 386, I'm in defined running, I don't think it's really playable, but yeah, technically you can start it. It's quite an inefficient hog of a game engine. And not all that reliable, so we've got some rules, and yeah, we're going for the whole bot trap thing. Well, humans like thing A, and also thing B, so let's do them both at once. Where's my sound? Oh, I have sound. I don't seem to have music. Why don't I have music? Has the game been broken already? Probably. Alright, cool, well, this is what I mean. And somebody's going, you're using the wrong hardware. Yeah, screw you, I'm way above the system requirements. Oh, music's on now. I'm way above the system requirements, and I have played Duke 3D start to finish on this computer without any notable incident. And I've played Dark Forces on this computer start to finish without any real incident. You know, I see these other people play it, and they press a switch here. There's no switch here, so I don't know what you're thinking. Maybe it's some weird version of the game. I see that a lot on YouTube. You look up a game and what the fuck is this? There's nothing like the game as it is on my machine. I don't know where you got that. Version 1.1, I've already, before I even started, had this somebody, use this weird patch. I don't want your weird patch. This is 1.1, this is what was on my disc in the 90s. But because people are going to, your patch is corrupted, if it does crash, your version of it's corrupted, your copy, well, alright, fine. This is from somebody else's discs from the 90s, so we'll see. We'll see. This game's fun enough. Like I say, I'm happy to play this. You know, I'm happy to play this to the end. It's really a bit bland compared to the other games, but I'm happy to play it. It's a nice little time kill. You know, it's fun to go around shooting demons. No idea why the volume's so low, but whatever. Just be thankful it works, I suppose. He says as the music starts to slow down dramatically. What a good omen. Hey, I'm on a DX-50, it should have a lot of power. Now, I'll be honest with you, my DX-50 isn't as fast as a lot of people's DX-50s, because my motherboard is kind of appropriate to this CPU's age. A lot of people who build them, they'll put like a motherboard from 94, 95, and they're a lot quicker than these early VL boards from like 92. This is on the very fast VLB motherboards, and really not as quick, you know. Get yourself something like the UMC 498 chipset and it will run rings around. Then again, not in Doom it won't. Because me and a friend of mine tested this and we found out that it actually doesn't. Which is quite normal for ID's codes to artificially slow down for some reason. But that was probably because we were running it on a UMC processor on the newer motherboards, the UMC U5SD40. I think he was on just the U5S, though functionally they said there is a way out there, I can't remember how to do it, and I don't really care, it's not necessary. Whereas I was running the SD40, and yeah, it comes in slower, but only really in Doom, everything else is quicker, so I don't know what it is with internet. Music's really not having a good time of it. You think this game has timing problems or something? You can see how it chunks a bit when you move around. It's not as bad as you say it is. It's, I go by what it says on the box, and the box says I can run it on a 386, so I expect my 50 MHz 486 to, with cache, 256k of external cache, and obviously 8k internal, it's an Intel chip, to kind of perform better than a 386, and so I can only imagine how it would run on one of those. Jeez, you see, I'm going to start coming unstuck because I don't remember where the things are in the levels of this. But yeah, when we're done with this, we'll have Dark Forces. I like Dark Forces. Dark Forces is a brilliant game. I'll take the hits, it's fun. Is that shoostable? No. But this, I thought of doing this a few months ago, Doom, and yeah, I'm certainly not against playing it. Like I said, I wouldn't be doing it. And the reason I didn't really was because where Backtech was doing it at the time, and I didn't really want to step on his toes. As somebody I've spoken to and sort of known on the internet for a long time, I don't really want to, you know, be interfering with what he's doing. He's a good guy, so. Only around sporadically now, then again I guess I am as far as it... Well, he disappeared. I guess he just descended into the realms of hell there or something, didn't he? Because we're not there yet, we're still on Mars, aren't we? I mean, there's one thing I've always said for Doom, I do quite like its colour palette. You know, it's nice and vibrant. Let's save the game. Oh, I got a save. Cool. Well, I did test this. Only for like a couple of minutes, I just wanted to make sure it was working. Oops. Starting to get fuzzies in the sound, I don't know if you can hear that. I'm sure you can. I'll turn it up for you. It's going to deafen me as soon as it makes a noise on the Windows 10 PC. Because I've got my little sour mix turned up really high. It doesn't actually go much higher because those T2025 amps are awful. I really should replace that with some other... I'd like a TDA 1517, which feels a bit overpowered for headphones, but I'm sure I could attenuate it. They're good little amplifiers, require less components, but they do have like a max 6 watt output or something, which is a bit much for driving a pair of 56 ohm headphones. Well, rather too much and too little there. Gotta keep the women happy. You know, they never complain about having more. Oh, how dearie me. Yeah, we usually have problems in this level. A little bit machine dependent. My controls feel really laggy now, by the way. I don't know, but my computer's underpowered or something. That bar isn't going to go away. It's not having a good time. There you go, there's a bit of an unusual video card in here. It's an F64-300, but it has no problems in anything else. My Alt key isn't working. There we go. So really shouldn't have problems with this. This game should be easy. You want to talk about running a game on a 386, and Dark Forces will do that. We streamed that years ago, you might actually remember. Start to finish, we did Dark Forces on the Super 386. And I can tell you, it will run on a regular one. Out as well. Might have to shrink the screen another step on those, but... that is how you write a game engine. Oh, that lag in the music, that really is quite something, isn't it? Quite a fascinating thing. I do believe, like I said, later revisions of the game are probably more stable, but they're not what came on the discs in the 90s. It's just not what you got. And a lot of people didn't have internet. They wouldn't think to look on where to look to spend hours downloading some random patch. Oh, we'll fix the thing. So you're kind of stuck with what you got, I'm afraid. And if this is what you had, this is what you're going to do with. they feel rushed in games to me. It seems to be their business model. Get it out fast. The quality and substance is generally secondary. I mean, Quake is really the epitome of that, where it barely feels like a game. It's like an engine demo. And the engine is kind of slow and lacking, really. Well, you know, people are, you can do actual 3D. I would argue that build is probably the more capable engine between that and, yeah. I mean, Doom's an older thing, so that's not necessarily a far comparison there, but with Quake, I feel like it is. The Doom engine's an older thing, but certainly in Jedi's time frame. Heretic, though, I quite liked Heretic. Heretic, I would argue, play Heretic. If you want to play something that's this style, get Heretic. Play that. It's actually the better game. It runs on Doom's engine, so you got all the jank of id Tech and the shoddy performance, which I mean, that was managing to slow down my Pentium at times, so that's quite impressive. And I think Heretic is forked from version 1.1 of this game, thinking about it. So really, it is on the same code base as this. But yeah, I find this an interesting thing, as we have seen it bug out a bit, and we've heard the music having problems and that, and it does amaze me how quick the internet forgets. You know, but it only does it one way, and I find that really interesting. You know, yeah, there probably is a patch that fixes the problems with the game from years later. And that's all you can find on the internet. It's like version 1.9 or something. You can't find 1.1 or anything anywhere. So you'd have to buy a set of discs to actually experience that as it was at release. So people just think that's the way it was, and that's not really an accurate representation of the game, I'm afraid, you know, yeah. And that's, you know, I will always show things as what they are. It were games I love, you know, I've never hidden it when Duke 3D sort of wigs out, and then it's quite an elaborate game, and so it does jank out occasionally. I saw that, I want that, there we go. You know, I will say how it is. But, you know, it only works one way, because it's like we've been playing Haunting Ground. I could claim that game's crashy because the hard drive loader doesn't like it, which I have to use because the optical drive in the PlayStation doesn't work anymore. So I could sit there and go, oh yeah, Haunting Ground, that's a crashy game, but nobody says that. And it's not a crashy game, it's a very reliable game. And so people just take that as a given. Whereas in this situation, you have Doom is a crashy game, and people just don't remember. Shows you what fans they really are of it, doesn't it? When me as somebody who is sort of meh about it, knows a bit more about it than they do. I suppose a lot of them are just busy trying to speedrun some weird version of it because they don't like games, but whatever. And I'm going to elaborate on that, because I say that quite a lot. And to me, it's like, I mean, you're not playing the game properly, you're trying to play it as little as possible, which to me suggests you don't like it, and really, you're just making a mockery of video games. It's like an insulting the people who made it. Like, I'm saying nasty shit, and I think the people who made this are a bunch of fucking clowns, but at least I'm forward about that I think the programmers were a bunch of fucking clowns. Because those people claim to actually like this shit, and it's like, well, what you're doing is essentially the same as buying a book and just turning to the last paragraph. You know, it's actually not a very nice thing to do. You're kind of, you know, just rubbing your dick in the author's face and asking to be liked for it. So, nah, I'm afraid that doesn't sit right with me. Some people give me shit when I design levels and stuff in Duke. Oh, you implemented anti-speedrun methods. Yeah, I did. Because I consider that an insult. You want to speedrun something I spent a long time making that. Well, you might as well just start and enter some cheat codes for all the good it's going to do, you know. It's like, don't bother. So hell yeah, I find that insulting. It's an insult to all those hours I put in. So yeah, I am going to anti-speedrun my things. You know, if you try speedrunning it, it might do something nasty to you. It'll try and stop you. Can I just leave? Apparently I can. Well, then I'm going to. And I keep forgetting, in Haunting Ground I cut off on a tangent somewhere, didn't I? I said something about, all the sort of... Fuck, I forgot again. I'm just destined to not say whatever it was. It was something about, really you only see guys playing games. Oh, it was my channel audience. My channel audience here is male, and I like that. I actually think that's good. Because I'll be honest with you, and it's going to sit right with some people. I actually do see video games really as a men's space. It's a men's thing. You know, you never really outgrow that. It's like, oh shit. Well, it's got into pride mode, I think, the game, in protest to my remarks. You know, when you were a kid, you didn't let the girls in your treehouse, did you? Because they'd come in and they'd start making demands and all sorts of trouble they'd start, and so you just didn't. That's not what we need. Is this where the game starts resource starving us? It may be. Uh-oh. AI in this game is not like the AI in Duke, so... Yeah, we might come unstuck here. Yeah, that'll do it for us. Probably snipe a few of them from here, you know. Yeah, the pickups in this game are something that I do think would have been changed if it had longer in development. Because everything gives you so little. It's like you look at the pickups in Duke or Dark, you know, they're not littered all over the place like they are in this game. In this game, they're all over the shop. You get, like, you know, 1 health out of some of them and shit. And it's like, who would do that? And it's a little bit of an anomaly, because it wasn't really how it was in, like, games before. It really is quite sort of a signature thing of this one. Yeah, 4 shotgun shells. What a random number. And the only thing like that in Duke is when you shoot the pig cops. They'll drop a random amount of shotgun shells sometimes. Which is to say that they'll drop a shotgun with a random amount of ammunition in it. Which it makes sense in the context of that because they've been firing it, so, you know, they wouldn't have full ammo on them anymore, would they? Whereas this is just what's on the ground, and it's... Yeah, maybe in the real world it'd just be whatever was lying there, but in game logic, really you sort of expect a fixed number, like 10 or 20 or something. I like the music in this game. The music's really good. It's Bobby Prince, so, you know, of course I like it. A lot of Bobby Prince DNA in the music I do at times. Said before, Bobby is where I learned about Cakewalk from and stuff like that. Very long time ago. Oh, man, the controls. It's like driving a milk float, this game. Yeah, you see, my country, once upon a time, had more electric vehicles than any other country. Because we used to have milk floats, and they were electric. They were little electric flatbed things. Had bottles of milk on the back. The milkman used to bring the milk around early in the morning. Well, we're screwed. No replay in this. I can see that wall over there, and it looks like it would do something, so let's go and have a look. The Mega what? Is there something I should know about? I don't know. Oh, I got the rocket launcher. I only got ammo for it though, so I don't think I want to use that just yet. I don't need armour. I mean, even the way the values are presented in this game's kind of strange. You know, it's percentages, but quite a lot of things take you over those percentages. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, whatever, it'll do. This weapon's fun because it sort of measures the game's frame rate for us a little bit. I really don't want to be dealing with this too much. It's a bit slow though. Yeah, it's quite hard to describe the controls other than the milk float thing. It really does just handle like a milk float. It's quite nice, really, having a local milkman. You know, I quite liked when things were done that way. Of course, you know, it's not how the world works now. You go to a big supermarket and you buy it in a plastic bottle from there. And they go on, oh, the previous generations were wasteful. Do you know what you used to do with the milkman? You brought in a glass bottle. And when you were done with it, you put the bottle back on the doorstep, and the milkman came back and he took it away. And then it went through, it was a machine. You know, it was quite well automated, this process. Well, there would be a couple of guys stood there. Well, when I saw it, it was a couple of ladies who were manning the equipment. Yeah, they'd be stood there watching, and if there was any broken bottles, they'd take them out the line. And at the end, if there was anything wrong, they'd put them back through, you know, if they could be reused still. They went through a machine that washed them, and, you know, set them up ready, and then they went through again, and it does like doing this, doesn't it? It was a disco ball. It's supposed to be the updated palette version. It don't know why it does that. There we go. That's what I wanted it to. Whatever its equivalent of PAL from is. I should restore things. Yeah, so all those bottles, they got reused. So, not a lot of resources used to keep that going. Just whatever was required to clean them, and obviously you put more milk in them, but the milk's pretty much a moot point, seeing as that is the product. In that case, you know, that's what you want in there, and you're going to consume it. You know, you're going to drink the milk or use it on your cereal or whatever. Try not to drink too much milk, and it does have quite a high estrogen content in it. So I'm not sure I'd want to consume too much of that. I don't think that would necessarily be very good. I mean, it's not going to be on par with, like, soy milk or something. I guess that's going to be far worse, but... yeah, cow's milk, eh? I quite like goat's milk. Anyway. Can't see a fucking thing in here. I don't know what you'll be able to see either. My monitor's overly bright, so... if I can't see it, you probably can't see it. Is that the gimmick for this room, that I can only see it momentarily? Maybe not the best place to put them misters, it's hard enough to see. Yeah, it sort of shows, I think, there's things like this why I feel Heretic was the better thing, for sure. Shame Raven Software ran out of steam as quick as they did, because they got off to quite a strong start line. Then they get to Hexen, and visually they've certainly come a long way by then, and with the atmosphere and that they got very good, but sort of only had enough huff left in them to do 6 levels or something, and so they just drew it out. How many levels are there per episode in this? What level are we on? Stay on the map screen, won't it? 6. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. We upset somebody. Yeah, right. The thing with Doom as well is it feels like... I'm trying to think the word, you know... I sort of hate to say it, but it's almost cringe-inducing. It has that feel like when you'd have like a school or like a corporate businessman try to come up with a video game at the time. The whole presentation of it and everything just comes across that way. I could rocket them, but we'll machine gun them. Very crackly the sounds. I think they did patch that later. Yeah, really, it's quite an odd thing, really, when you think about it. It's quite an oddity, this game. Well, as I say, it's not a bad time killer. It certainly wouldn't be my first choice, but breaks things up, gets us out of the adventure games for a moment, doesn't it? And as I say, whatever happens to this, we'll be playing Dark Forces, like when we're done with it. Which I'm certainly not going to have any complaints about. As far as first-person shooters go, Dark Forces is certainly up there. I don't think anything will ever top Duke Nukem 3D for me, but yeah, I don't know. Dark Forces comes pretty close on the list. Doesn't this level pull some bullshit somewhere? I can't. Well, not a lot of them in this game. Might be able to walk down that. It's on our right now, behind that pillar. Certainly try. I mean, we have the power of save games. Feels like there would be something in here. No, maybe it's an exit for something, not a very well designed thing, because it's taught us to check these things just a level or two back, and now it's punishing us for it. Doom 2 is where I think it really shows that the level design team for this didn't really know what they were doing. I don't think they figured it. They just slapped it together and chipped a name on after the fact. You know, they'll give a level a name, and it's why I don't see how it got that name, because these are all big med kits, so I'm sure I saw a smaller one. Yeah. That brings us up to 100, so we don't waste these, because they're in a spot where I'd have no choice but to pick one of them up, and that would be wasteful. Oh, yellow door again. Isn't that nice? You know, I feel like we probably aren't meant to be in this area yet. Ah, I got the red one. Okay. I didn't notice. I mean, I guess we were only just out of maze games when this was made, but... Alright, I was going to say, it'll be behind us, won't it? Because that's the... I wasn't moving backwards, though, but if you insist. But that's the Doom way, you know. Just open a box of monsters behind you. Oh, I have a supercharge, but is it any use to me? I don't fucking know. Like, where are we? Invisibility. With no context given for where the hell I am, so I can't go and punch those bastards out. By the time I find them, I'll probably not punch him out. I thought oh yeah, the invisibility doesn't work in this game, does it? I remember now. It says it gave you invisibility, and then everything just shoots at you and gets a direct hit anyway, because, you know, this game works really well. Pointless item, you know. I mean, I get that it's quite involved to make something like that. You know, I do game programming myself, and, yeah. Oh, there's none of them left. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm really invisible. And I guess they are like creatures from hell. You know, they would be able to probably see me. Because they probably don't see my, like, human form, you know, they probably just see, like, his soul or something, I guess, but, you know, that could be an argument for it. Oh, this looks... No, I've been in here. Where's this blue key door? That's the bullshit this level pulls. The layout's confusing. I've already been in here. Jeez, I mean... I rag on the Apogee sound system for being janky, but... I think this is like a whole different level. There we go. Yes, undecorated square rooms after undecorated diagonal rooms. Wonder what we'll find next. It's hard to think that people still play this game often. I don't know. I'm honestly surprised it's still running. I would have expected it to have crashed on us by now, and I think it probably has come close a few times. Is it going to spawn shit behind me? I'm surprised. It didn't. Oh, well, sort of, I guess. Why do I smell ozone? Oh, right, because I've had the ozone generator on. That's why. Yeah, it was a bit of an odd smell in here, like earlier, so I don't know what that is. It's probably some of the names have done. But I don't like it, so I'm just going to put ozone in the R. Yeah. You watch me end up getting recommended tons of videos about ozone generation now or something. Well, that just led me back out there, but there was no in there. I need the PAL from to go off. I mean, this really does look a bit more hellish, I'll give it that. It's like that command doesn't restore the palette properly, like whatever function that calls up to do that. And don't really ask me, because oh yeah, we threw this switch, but I don't know what it did. But don't really ask me, because I can't make head nor tail of the source code for this game. I really struggle to read the source code for this. Could sit and read Duke 3D stuff all day. Some of the math is a little bit beyond me. Mathematics aren't my strong point, but I generally understand what the game is doing. And a decent chunk of the engine, not too much of that. I mean, that's mathematically intense figures. But I can at least generally look at a function in that and go, okay, I know what it's making happen, I just don't necessarily have a grasp on the mathematical ins and outs of that, but yeah, okay, I get that. That's figuring out, like, you know, the tangent of this, or like the offset of that, or, you know, this angle, or that position, or whatever, but yeah, Doom stuff, I ain't got a clue what it's trying to do. It's a bit of a mess. Which I think's odd, because people say that's the more readable of the two. Maybe it is. It maybe comes with being self-taught, I don't know. It's actually, that's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because that might actually be the case. Because Ken Silverman, as far as I know, he wrote the build engine. As far as I know, was self-taught for the most part. I think his parents taught him some, but for the most part, as far as programming goes, I think he was self-taught. And I think might be either Replogle or Miller from 3D Realms was also self-taught. And I don't know if the people who made Doom were. I don't know why they learned programming. So maybe that is actually why. You know, maybe it's easier as somebody who's self-taught to read the code of somebody else who's self-taught. I don't know. But it would make sense to me if that was the case. Maybe that's what's going on. Where do I want to be? Yeah, these level layouts are quite unpleasant, I've got to say. Do you want me to go over though? I mean, we established walking in the green ship was bad. But okay, I'm not really against it. It's not a big deal, you know, it's like, hey, take a risk to progress. Yeah, no, that's fine. I got no gripes with it. These guys sure well there's a bit of a gap in the palette, I think. How they go from pink to brown. I don't get along with the delay that's on this gun. Like it said, have I got myself stuck? I should have fucking my weapon won't switch. Oh, this is garbage. Keep in mind, I can hardly see these guys. Right, I knew I should have served. I guess I'll meet you back here. Okay, back into the yellow key region we are. Oh man, the performance is chugging a bit here though. And I'm really quite surprised, like, oh, I'm not actually, I'm lying, because I've played this game before and I know how badly it performs. I know just how slow it can get. But it definitely has problems in the performance department. I don't have any problems performing, you know, I've never had any complaints about my performance. Never really left anyone disappointed, you know. Let's chuck a save in there just for good measure. So it was somewhere. Ah, right, that was it, wasn't it? There we go. We are, of course, playing this keyboard only. I don't have a mouse running here. Couldn't really imagine playing this game with a mouse because of how sort of flirty the controls are. I think it would feel quite strange. I mean, maybe you could use the mouse for movement. There's certainly people who played like that back then. There's very few of them left now who use that sort of control scheme. I found it a bit odd. It was maybe more of a thing for certain adventure games. I'm not sure it works so well for first-person shooters. Alright, it's not attached to the switch, it's attached to I say a touch plate, I don't think that's what we call them in this game. I really can't see these misters until they're right on top of me. Don't know what any of this did, I don't know. Where are we going now? So there's fucking still at least one here. A couple more, so I think what you want to do there, with no indication as to that you should, is to, yeah, not throw the switch until you've set that touch plate off. I'm sure they call them something else in this game. Line deaths or something, maybe. It's touch plate to me. I'd say we're nearly done with the episode. Computer station, eh? I'll keep going. We might have split the part around here, but I don't know. Ah, this is the one that everyone does the time demos on. Out of ammo for the machine gun. Probably not great. It sounds like they're all trying to kill each other, because this game has infighting, which people are always, oh, we should put that in Duke 3D. Keep your Doom gameplay out of my game. I don't want it in there. There's not much point if both games play the same. I mean, I wouldn't want Duke 3D in Doom anymore, you know, it would be just as ridiculous. Do it for fun, yeah, but don't try and pass it off as an improvement. In either case, you know, Doom is Doom, Duke is Duke, and that's how it should stay. Ugh, all starts to look quite samey quite quickly, this, doesn't it? Computer stationers, maybe, yeah, I guess. Ooh. The blue. Oh, I got some rockets. I ain't gonna complain about rockets. Never say no to rockets. That's what they call me when I'm in bed. I'm unlike a stallion, I'm gun like a fucking Black & Decker drill. Super sexist, I think. That maybe wasn't quite his line. I don't even read Viz anymore, is that still a thing? Or I'll just showing my age. Ooh, pet. You want to see me elephants? Yeah, here we go. Well, that didn't work out so good for me, but I'll take it. Oh, that worked out worse, so there we go. This is getting more often, isn't it? It's more frequent. Go on, stop. Holy jeez, you'd think this thing had, like, I don't know. Not even sure what would cause it in this game. I don't know how it handles the palette. I can certainly make that happen in Duke Nukem 3D. I know how that game handles the palette. In fact, I've played with that, and it's something that New Inversion 2 is going to mess about with, is the game palette. A lot of untapped potential in there. Do some pretty interesting things. I mean, you can tamper with the display palette on the fly in build. Maybe, I would imagine you can do that in this engine as well. I wouldn't know. But in build, you can just fiddle with it to your heart's content and remap colours to other colours, change the colours. I mean, obviously you can only ever have 256 of them, but you know, you could certainly change them at any given time. There's nothing to stop you doing it. You can modify art tiles at runtime, which is, has some potential. We could actually do, you know, those invisible bastards in this. Like, you could totally do that effect in build. I've got no use for it, so I'm not going to do it. It'd be a bit annoying to do, but certainly it's doable. If you plot the sprite's screen position and play about with the column heights for rendering on a second pass, then we'd definitely be able to do something like that. And in fact, I do have an effect that I'm probably not going to use, and when I said about my mathematical weakness, I'm having issues plotting the position of a sprite on the screen, like that's in the 3D world. But I do have an effect that I've done just to sort of play with it and see if the engine would do it. And it does rely on the whole adjusting column heights thing in the second rendering pass, so that you're not rendering like... Basically, what you can render a non-square window. You could render really just about any shape in any place, so yeah, that's kind of interesting. I don't know how many game engines can do that. You know, build's potential's never really been tapped. It can do a lot of really interesting things that you just don't really see. You know, nobody's ever used that, and I'm certainly not going to use it to its full potential. I wish I could, because I think it would be absolutely awesome. I think if I did, I think people would write about it for years. You know, like, wow, look at what this old game engine ended up being capable of. We might still be able to get some wow factor out of it. Things people really didn't suspect. Just didn't think you'd be doing in a really old game engine. Where is this red door? I don't recall seeing one. Aha, here we go. All that just to get a blue key, and now I don't know where this goes. Fuck. And these layouts, because they all look so samey, they get a bit confusing. Quite quickly. Strife, I guess, is kind of fun in its own right as well. You know, it's a... I don't know, I've said before, I think in many ways that game's best. Fondly remembered but not played again. It's a little bit sort of crummy at times. I like the ambition of it, but oh, yeah, it's a slog and it's really quite janky. Oh shit. Have I not been in here? Did it spawn these later? No, I'm sure I've been here. I have. This is where I was when I said I ain't seen no blue key door. All these boxes of monsters. Don't they call them monster closets? I'm back here, for fuck's sake. So it's got to be... Here we go. Come on. How far is there to go? This level's boring, man. Most levels in this game get pretty boring. Oh yeah, fucking disco mode. If I play on a different computer, we probably won't have that bug, we'll just have a different one to contend with. Now, the pirate CDs that came later, I remember those tended to have 1.666 on them. So there's obviously what pirates liked. And that is as in the compilation ones. If you got just a Pirate of Doom, then generally it was 1.1. I think that was like the mail order version. Typically, you know, if you ordered the game legit, that's what they sent you. In most places. I mean, back then things were a lot less centralised, and so distributors could really just take a long time to get a new version of software if they ever bothered. Phobos Anomaly, I think we're on the last level of the episode here. Might as well finish it. Just run this at what length it runs, I think. It's been a fun little distraction, this. I'm not against it. Like I say, it's partly serviceable, this game. Oh no. I didn't just soft-lock myself, did I? I mean, one of the most memorable songs from the game, this. Like, it does sound quite sort of, destitute, doesn't it? As if you're standing up to face something that's quite nasty. I think it lets us down though, doesn't it? I'm not sure we actually get a boss here. First time we encountered this red texture. There's two of these, so I don't wanna... Oh fuck, they are a bit. You know what? You can suck rockets. A little more rocket, yeah. Okay. Well, they do take quite a few. I'm sure an experienced doomer would tell me to make them in fight. Well, we could have fucking done with this shit. It would have done nothing, but at least then we'd have had some fun complaining about it. See, at least Duke 3D's items work. Even the Holoduke that nobody uses does actually work. Like, you should try it sometime. The enemies will shoot it. Like, you know, they will go after it instead of you, unless they're already attacking you, but I mean, that figures. Like, then why are they going to fall for that shit at that point? This is so random, I always felt. I guess we're coming out in sympathy with Pascal Rawowed with the fucking water texture on the ceiling. It's like him using carpets for lawns and shit. And glass on the floor. You know, the default sounds to mix for this game is 3. It's really quite a random number. You'd almost think it's an attempt at optimization or something, but I don't think so. There we go. Once you beat the big badasses and clean out the moon base, you're supposed to win, aren't you? Well, now the game has 2 more episodes, so I didn't think we would. Where's your fat reward and ticket home? What the hell is this? It's not supposed to end this way. Yeah, sure it is. Stinks like rotten meat, but looks like the lost Deimos base. Looks like you're stuck on the shores of hell. The only way out is through. Well, I thought the Doom guy quite liked this shit anyway, so I mean, he'd probably be quite glad about this. I mean, it's going to make him feel pretty badass, isn't it? Play The Shores of Hell and its amazing sequel, Inferno. Have to continue the Doom experience. To what? Hang on, I'm in the full version of the game, or I think I am. Am I? $40! Oh, jeez, man. Yeah, definitely I think the other games that came shortly after this gave you better value for money. I mean, Dark Forces was an expensive game, but you got a lot more for it than you did in this. I mean, you go, well, the last level only has 14 levels, yeah, but those levels are big, and you got a lot in them. Like Heretic, you know, which again is sort of like really just a mod of Doom being sold as its own product. I feel like you get more, really. That's about the hint manual and disc. For foreign orders, oh, that would have been us. Hold on. Is it supposed to just stop on this screen? Oh, okay. So, am I in the full version? I am. It's just a little bit of an oversight there that it still brings those screens up. God, can you imagine how jank it would have been if Duke had done that? You beat the Battle Lord and it brings up the order screens. Another very memorable song from this game, but we'll take this on next time. The game's not crashed, I'm honestly amazed. It's certainly janked out on us. As I said though, this DX-50 is really quite a stable machine. I mean, I made sure of that. It's a DX-50, and DX-50s with VLB are known for having stability problems, so I really went out of my way when I made this machine to make it stable, and sometimes at the cost of performance, admittedly. But, yeah, I guess it is quite a stable computer. I guess it really proves it. We can play an entire episode of Doom without it crashing. Should we stay on this machine, or should we switch to maybe that U540 next time, or the Pentium 66, or the K5 or something? I don't know. I guess we'll see how I feel on the day. And I don't know when it'll be. This is probably going to be quite sporadic, but in the meantime, I'm Xeff. Hope you had fun getting to blast some demons instead of doing adventures and puzzles and stories. As I say, I like both, but I would say I do lean more towards those style of games on average. And, yeah. We'll catch up again soon. And there you go, that gives you an idea of the performance profile of this machine. You can see it is a DX-50. My char's getting creaky again, isn't it? Thought I'd fix that. You know, it is a DX-50. There's a big 5 1/4 inch SCSI Seagate drive in there. It's quite a large capacity for the time, I guess. And yeah, you can see the caches on the CPU and the motherboard do work. They are doing what they're supposed to do, and the CPU is performing sort of as it should. But look at how that DX40 386 is by comparison. I really think you'd be playing Doom on that. If you want to run it in a postage stamp window, I still don't really think you'd get that much out of it, to be honest. But who knows, and maybe we'll be on a quicker computer next time, maybe not. We shall see. But now we know what we're involved with here. Certainly, as I say, if you put this CPU in a motherboard from the mid-90s, it would go a lot faster, but this is a motherboard from the short time this CPU was relevant. This is, if you owned a DX50, this is what you would have, and it would have been a lot quicker, really, than some of the DX266s that would have been around when Doom was new, so, well, maybe not a lot, but it certainly would have given them a run for their money. There's not much in it. They sort of trade places here and there. So, you're not really doing anything untoward here.